For almost 20 years, an Iowa family has dealt with a mystery, the disappearance of a Dubuque man and his car, both seeming to vanish without a trace. Channel 13's Aaron Brilbeck has tonight's cold case.
It's an Iowa cold case that brings us all the way to the woods of Wisconsin. An Iowa man disappears. Even his car vanishes along this stretch of highway in Wisconsin. And still police have no clues as to what happened to him and where he went. They say someone can't just vanish. But Tim Westemeyer of Des Moines disagrees.
People do vanish, and I'm not sure which and how they do vanish, but I know for a fact that they just up and vanish.
20 years ago, Westemeyer's uncle did just that. It was November of 1990, and Paul Knockel of Dubuque didn't show up for Thanksgiving dinner with his family. Now, that wasn't like him. Knockel, who never married and never had any children of his own, lived for spending time with his family.
The fun times we always had as kids and as growing up with him and everything, and some of the fun things, we did together, as I guess an uncle and a nephew.
Concerned, family members went to Knockel's house. They found his wallet and his watch, even his shoes, but Knockel and his car were gone. The next day, the family spotted what they thought was his car, a 1981 red Mercury Zephyr like this one, parked along Route 151, just over the Wisconsin border. A few hours later, the car was gone. It and Knockel haven't been seen since. Family members believe he may have been abducted at his home and murdered. You don't think this was an accident, though? You think he was murdered?
I think he was murdered, yeah. I would say that's what happened. I mean, it was no accident involved.
Family members say that would explain why Knockel's shoes and wallets, things that he had with him every single day, were left behind.
His wallet was left on the kitchen table in his house where he lived, and his good shoes were left there and everything, and we don't even know what he had on for shoes when he left, but apparently he knew something bad was coming down.
The question is, why? Knockel was a simple man. He went to work every day, didn't go out much. Family members say he had a learning disability, but he never just took off. Police say he didn't appear to have any enemies or be involved in anything that he shouldn't have been.
Everything, everybody we've talked to, our investigation, just the totality of the circumstances, there's nothing to indicate really that this individual led an overly seedy lifestyle. Didn't have any really drug or alcohol problems, really didn't drink much at all.
After the disappearance, police scoured the wooded area where family members saw the car. No clues turned up. Since then, police have followed up on dozens of leads. Again, nothing. Investigators believe Knockel may have wound up in the Mississippi River, either by accident or as a suicide or a homicide. But that's just a theory.
The river does create a different kind of spin here in our community. Strong currents, and generally speaking, we usually recover bodies that are disposed of in the river, not all the time. And again, depending on the circumstances, if a body's contained within a vehicle, that obviously creates another challenge to us as well.
In other words, a submerged body in a car won't always come to the surface. Police plan to follow up on any leads, but admit they're no closer to solving this case today than they were 20 years ago. The family wants answers, and they want to give Knockel a proper burial if he is dead. They say a simple man, a good man who never hurt anyone, deserves that.
Yes, that would definitely give him peace, and give us all peace, too.
That was Aaron Brilbeck reporting. If you have any information about Paul Knockel's disappearance, please call the Dubuque Police Department at 319-589-4410. And to learn more about unsolved cases, you can find a link to iowacoldcases.org on our website at whotv.com.